Hello, 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 brothers and sisters. We're very, very happy to welcome you to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. We have another great show for you today, but before we begin, we really want to thank all our subscribers, and we want to tell you to continue subscribing, continue sharing the show with your friends, because this show is your show, and the goal of this show is to make Africa great again. Unlike other shows, we try to share the kind of information that will really help you make sense out of what is happening in Africa. A lot of news breaks out in Africa every day, but sometimes it looks like a bunch of noise, but we don't think so. There's method to the madness, which is why if you are watching our show, you'll be able to make sense out of what is happening. For example, look at this week. You saw what happened in Mali. Before the coup d'etat, we've been talking about Mali on this show every week. We've been letting you know what is happening. So if you've been following this show, then you should have really been prepared, because we predicted that something is going to happen. Some people were thinking that the time for coup d'etats in Africa is over. That was just talk, because the problems, before a coup happens, if you've really studied, you don't really need to be in a military academy like West Point to really understand how coups come about. Coups are just a way for people to vent their frustrations. When you have a place where there is a merry-go-round dictatorship, the dictator looks at the people like fools, then you have to have some kind of way, like a valve, to really burst that balloon and pull the air out so that you deflate the balloon. And this is what really happened in Mali last week. And we really wanted you to understand what is happening. So we're really, really happy. But we're going to talk about Mali later on the show. We want to start the show of today by looking at Congo DRC. We've covered Congo DRC many times on this show. You know it yourself, my brothers and sisters. Now, Martin Fayulu. Martin Fayulu is a politician who actually won the elections in Congo DRC. But because the Machiavellian Joseph Kabila did not want him to take power, he handed power to Felix Tshisekedi. Since then, Martin Fayulu has been complaining and protesting. After leaving the country for a while, he returned finally to Congo DRC and is prepared to continue fighting for democracy. And we really feel sorry for him, because when you have such a system, if you don't have guns, you cannot go anywhere, which is a sad thing with African system. You need to have the power of the gun. That's the only thing dictators respect. When you don't have guns, then you lose elections. But when you have the power of the gun, you win elections. But what happened in Mali has also happened in many other places. It's a way to teach the dictators that, listen, African people have the power. We got the power. We just have to use it. We got unlimited power that God has given us. We just need to use this power to free ourselves, and which is why we keep telling you. So from Congo DRC now, we're going to take you to Ivory Coast. Okay, guys? Ivory Coast has really been featured on this show many times recently, and that's another place where we're thinking a coup d'etat may happen. So let's tell you, a coup d'etat may happen in Ivory Coast, because we're reading all the tea leaves. We look at what is happening. Alassane Dramane Ouattara, the Callous Colonial president, trying to run for a third term. But this third term project is not constitutional. So there are many factions in the country that are already protesting. For example, we have a young lady, Pulchérie Glebat, who has been protesting. They just arrested her and locked her up. They did the same thing to Nathalie Yam, who was also the spokesperson for the leader party of Mamadou Koulibaly. They sent her out of the country. She was sent out, expelled, and sent to Switzerland. She's been speaking from there because she's talking up against Ouattara. The problem with Ouattara is that he's a colonial puppet. He's a French puppet. Even this whole issue with the new currency of the ECO, who has been supporting it? Ouattara. Places like Nigeria, Ghana were against the ECO because they did not want the French to hijack the African currency that they wanted to create. But the people who were already working for the French were guys like Alassane Dramane Ouattara. Now he wants to stay and continue keeping the people hostage so that the French people can exploit the resources of Ivory Coast. So Alassane Ouattara made a big mistake, because he is thinking he can play games with the people. With his merry-go-round dictatorship, it's not going to go for more than 3 rounds. The people will get him. because already many of the factions, you have Laurent Gbagbo's faction, then you have Henry Konan BDA's faction. So all these guys really want to be president. So they're all vying to become president. So the kind of conflict and civil war that broke out in Ivory Coast, we're going to see what I call a deja vu, because it's going to happen again, and it's not going to be nice for Africa. But when you have leaders like this who are callous, who only look at their self-interests, they need to please their colonial masters, then we are bound to see more coup d'etats. And we think things are going to get bloody in Ivory Coast, because the people are not going to take it sitting down. They're going to protest. They're going to protest, and they're going to take action. So do not be surprised if you see another coup d'etat in Ivory Coast. We can tell you, Ivory Coast is a place that has been prone to handle coup d'etats, and we think because the move by Alassane Ouattara is very, very unpopular, the people are going to protest and there will be a coup d'etat, because a lot of parties that have vested interests, they think he broke the promise he made to the people. So he may think the people are stupid, but the people now are ready to drain the swamp. They want to get all these crocodiles. They want to flush them out, okay? That's what the people are doing. They want to flush all these crocodiles, let them go back to France, their colonial master, and they can stay over there.
Have you heard the latest healthcare news? There's been a medical programming breakthrough. Let's go to Ali and Ron for more.
Thanks, Seb. A Good Samaritan is offering Alexia HTC, a new EMR EHR, to doctors for free. Certainly, this free offer will shake things up in the medical software industry. Alexia HTC is a David pitting itself against the Goliaths, Epic, Cerner, and Meditech, which are old and cost too much money. What happens if you figure out how to build a new EMR EHR on the web for pennies on the dollar? You give it away to the suffering physicians for free.
Want to learn more about how these two powerhouse solutions will help you win more business? Schedule a demo below. In just minutes, Alexia HTC can help you access a patient record, enter an order, write a note, prescribe a medication, generate a charge, and create a super bill. Plus, Alexia Care Corporation, the vendor of the new web application, offers full customer service and training support free of charge. Who can beat that?
From Ivory Coast, we're going to go to La République du Cameroon. There's so much news breaking out in La République du Cameroon. For starters, we want to tell you the Cameroonian people are tired of poor beer. And you can see signs when you walk into the country. In Yaoundé, for example, before, the portraits, the pictures, portraits of poor beer used to sell for a whole lot of dollars. Okay? But today, nobody really wants this portrait. The people are just waiting for poor beer to just get out. They're just waiting for the end of poor beer's regime. So it's really sad that the people just want poor beer to get out, and they are really showing their feelings by not buying most of these portraits they used to clamor for. So this is really sad. Then, of course, most of the Amba guys who have been inmates in Kondengui, they have been attacked by other inmates, and it looks like the Biya government is encouraging other inmates to attack the Ambazonians who are in Kondengui. So this is not really a good thing, but because this government is really diabolical, all these things are happening. And of course, there's been a lot more killings in the Ambazonian area by Biya's B militia and other thugs. So a lot of problems are really happening, and people just cannot live. A few days ago, a girl went snail hunting. She was in the bush, and they just shot her with her sister. And they shot her with her sister. So that was not really nice. So it was really bad. They shot the girl with her sister in cold blood, and they died. So it's really sad. So many people, and even builders. When you are a builder and you're building a building, you are a target. Anytime the Biya militia see any living object, male figure, they want to destroy it. Those are instructions they've been given by Paul Biya. So it's like a dictatorship that will end so badly. But before then, he would have killed so many people. The genocide lives on. Nobody is doing anything about it. Nobody is taming Paul Biya. So he continues killing people. So what we have to say to our people is, instead of just looking like a sheep and allowing this militia to come and kill you, you have to start arming yourselves. The population needs to start arming itself. The population needs to start bearing arms. They need to start using these arms to fight back this Biya regime. And this is what is happening now in a lot of places in Ambazonia. In fact, we saw what the Red Dragons of Lebialem did the other day, and they were really shooting a lot of vehicles of La République that came, and they destroyed most of those vehicles. So the Red Dragons should not only be the only guys doing big stuff. We want other guys, even we've been seeing what General RK is doing in the Northwest area also. We really salute some of those guys because we think they are really protecting their people. Without them, the Biya rogue regime will be doing a lot more killings. In fact, you could even see a video of General RK recruiting. And what we like about General RK is that he's a God-fearing guy. You see him talk to his people about religion. Even those who are Muslims, he allowed them freedom of worship. So we think General RK is really a great guy who needs to really be supported. And we're encouraging our people to support General RK because he has very brilliant ideas. He's not a stupid guy. He's a very, very cool-headed guy, and we think this is really salutary, so we'll praise it. Then, of course, some of those guys, the Amba Restoration Forces, who decided to disarm, then surrender to La République, from what we understand, over 150 of them are said to have escaped. But that's not true. What has really happened is these guys have been killed secretly, and they're telling people that they have escaped. Who are you fooling? So it is really idiotic and stupid if you are an Ambazonian fighter. If you are tired of fighting, look for a place and hide. But do not surrender to La République. If you surrender to La République, you're just being foolish, because that's a very foolish move. When you surrender to La République, you give them your weapons, then eventually they will look for the best time to kill you. Just know that once you get into La République, you're a prisoner. You're not going to get away free. And this is the fate that befell some of the guys who were in the disarmament center. We know they have been killed in cold blood. They are lying, telling you people that they have escaped. Where have they escaped to? They have not escaped. They have been killed summarily and buried in mass graves. Eventually, you're going to discover some of these atrocities. It just takes the end of the Biya rogue regime for most of these atrocities to come to light. But already, we are seeing a lot of videos showing you the atrocities of this government. It's not funny. We're seeing them, and they're happening every day. Next, we feel sorry and we want to express our solidarity to the people of Douala. We see a lot of pictures of floods. This is not good, and we feel sorry for the people who are really struggling to make a living. We know Douala is really tested because it is just like the frontier town. Most of the people running away from Ambazonia come to Douala to seek refuge from the war. Most of them they don't really want to fight. So the only way they can do is they run away and come to Douala. Now Douala sometimes faces these floods, and we feel sorry for those who have really been dealing with the flood problem. And we tell them all will be well. But we're telling our people that we are continuing sharing your vision. We're taking your message, sharing it with the world so that the world should know your problem. The way we see it, the Biya regime is not going to make peace with Anglophones. So the only way Anglophones can handle this stuff is to continue fighting, to buy more arms and fight this regime. Because the regime only knows one thing: might. According to the logic of this regime, might is right. And of course, you guys should know, the Biya regime has been preparing for war for a very long time. Since they claimed there was a coup d'etat in Cameroon, Mr. Biya started building a private army. In fact, he was using one of the French logic that somebody once said, si tu veux la paix, tu prépares la guerre. So which means if you really want to live in peace, you start preparing for war. So because Mr. Biya has been preparing for war, he has taken a lot of people by surprise because he's been preparing for a very long time. When you look at areas like Ebolowa, most of those places in the southern province where he comes from, the Bulu areas, he has ammunition packed all over the place. So they have been preparing for war for a very long time. Similarly, the Ambazonians have a very porous border with Nigeria and even Central African Republic. We need to really start exploiting this porous border and bring more weapons in. And there are people who are willing to give money for our people to fight. And I think the next few weeks, things are going to change because we've gotten a lot of intelligence, which is telling us that a lot of money is going to be coming to buy weapons for the people of Ambazonia. So things are going to get deadly. I think what the Ambazonians need to do is to start killing a lot more of the BIA forces, because they cannot be killing you and you just watch them like a joke. This is not a joke. The international community has so many vested interests in this part of the world that they don't really want to take any action. So if you're relying on the international community to free you, think again. Look at what happened in Mali, which we're going to come to pretty soon. You have to learn to free yourself. Self-reliance is the motto. You have to be able to use your own resources to free yourself. If you're thinking that somebody will come from America and free you, the Americans fought their own war. So now you have your own war. They declared it on you. You are not prepared, but you have to fight. And already a lot of actions are going to take place. A lot of events are also going to take place, which will make it easier for you to defeat the BIA regime. From what we understand, the Bakassi problem is coming back. If you think this problem had been solved, now there's so much pressure in Nigeria because even the people who live around Bakassi, they feel that they are not Cameroonians. And they feel that the BIA regime did not really respect the accord they signed with Nigeria. As a result, they want to come back and take over the Bakassi Peninsula area. So there's going to be a big fight. So the BIA government is going to be forced to be fighting a war on so many fronts. And Nigeria is really a country with a very large army. When Nigeria starts fighting the BIA regime again, it will give the opportunity to most of the Amba people to fight because their resources will be so split that they will not really have the will to fight. So they will be able to be at your mercy. So we're just telling you that be prepared. Events are turning around. So what we try to do on this show is to inform. So Bakassi is going to come back as a very big problem. Nigeria has a much better army than Cameroon, La République du Cameroon. We saw what happened in Bakassi. It's just that because of geopolitics, the French were able to play games and help Cameroon gain that part of the world. But they were fighting for what? They were fighting for oil. So this fight is coming back, and we could see a lot of videos that are showing that the problem of Bakassi is coming back. It will be big on the table. So if you do not know, we're just helping you to understand that it's going to be a big problem that is going to lead to the end of the BIA regime. If this regime has really withstood all these shocks, the shock absorbers are going to break down with the Bakassi problem looming on the horizon. So we're just warning you to be prepared to exploit this Bakassi problem, because what is going to happen is that corridor, the Nigerian-Cameroon corridor, is going to be open and it's going to become awash with a lot of weapons. So our people should be able to capitalize on Mr. Biya's problem and beat him and make him kneel down and face the Ambazonians. Because that's the only way you can defeat a dictator like this. He looks at the people like a merry-go-round. So now we're going to leave Mr. Biya and La République du Cameroon and go to Mali.
Is your EMR EHR COVID-19 ready? If not, you do not know what you are missing. Why do you suffer in silence? Be smart. Turn to Alexia HTC today. Alexia HTC is the leader in virtual solution and communication technology in these times of pandemic crisis. When the unexpected happens, who are you going to call? Alexia HTC. Come and see how Alexia HTC Cloud Communications are enabling your fellow healthcare providers to consult with patients virtually and making big money. Alexia HTC also enables your employees to work remotely during the COVID-19 crisis. Are your employees safe? Do not jeopardize the health and safety of your patients and practice. What can Alexia HTC do for you? Alexia HTC is the new Colossus, the sister of physicians, who gives you back liberty, that is, the freedom to practice medicine your way. Vivacious virtual visits wherever you please. Amazing e-prescribing. Quick access to patient information. Easy access to medical records from other providers. Rapid drug allergy checks. Integrated lab tests and results. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled doctors yearning to breathe free. the wretched refuse of your greedy corporations. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed physicians, to me. I give them the refuge, the happy home of Alexia HTC. Act now. Browse alexiahtc.com or call 240-350-1131.
Because Mali is really where the big story of the week is. For many weeks now, we've been reporting about the problem in Mali. Some of you were not really taking us seriously, but we are very good analysts. We understand Africa very, very well. And hence, we are not European journalists. Most European journalists do not understand Africa. We understand Africa very well because we're Africans, and the European journalists sometimes do not really speak French. But we understand Francophone Africa because we translate whatever we read. Okay, we read French. My dear friends, I want to say something in French to praise our brothers and sisters in Mali. Mes sœurs et mes frères maliens, je veux vous dire félicitations. Vous avez fait un bon travail, très très bon travail. Félicitations, bravo. Vous avez conquis le dictateur Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta. Ça, c'est un très bon travail. C'est très noble. C'est très digne. Merci beaucoup. So we're just praising our guys in Mali. Because Mali has really dealt with so many dictatorships. The first one was Modibo Keïta. From the 60s to 1967, they pulled him out. He was overthrown. Okay, that was Modibo Keïta. Then after that, we have Moussa Traoré. He too was kicked out. Then, of course, the French also came in 2012 and kicked out another government. So this area has known chaos and insecurity for a very long time. Even the French thought that they're going to do something. Already, from what we understand, the French are already preparing to come back and fight the military junta, which is headed by Assimi Goïta, who is the junta leader in Mali today. But we really praise the people of Mali because they've shown that they are brave. We spoke to them in French because we really want them to get our message. So unlike most American journalists, we know how to cover Francophone Africa because we know everything that's happening there. The last few weeks, even when the leaders of ECOWAS went to Mali, Bamako, to resolve this problem, we look at it like a joke. We're telling you in our past shows that how can you solve a problem by taking sides? If you want to solve a problem like this, you need to look at the root causes. And the root causes are political, social, and economic. Okay? That's what caused this crisis. The M5 movement started because the people were disgruntled. They were disgruntled for political reasons, social reasons, and economic reasons. On the political stage, they did not like the fact that there was a merry-go-round dictatorship in Mali. Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta was just doing things just like he owned the country. He was playing political games, bringing judges, getting positions in parliament. So the people showed him that they were sick and tired of these games. This merry-go-round dictatorship has to end. He thought it would not happen. The other presidents came because even the AU is talking against the coup junta, but we know that they're just paper tigers. They will not do anything, okay? So they're just wasting their time. ECOWAS is doing the same thing. Goodluck Jonathan had even come before to try to make peace. But his way of making peace is to appease the president of the country and tell the people to keep quiet. But the people were ready to fight because it was really a popular movement. It was a grassroots movement that was so big that the president did not know what to do. He thought he could still hang on to power. But finally, they forced him to resign. So he resigned in shame. And this is a guy, you see even in some of the videos, he's saying, I'm resigning because I don't want bloodshed to stay in power. Who are you fooling, hypocrite? Blood has been flowing in the street for so many weeks. So why have you not been seeing that? We're in America, but we can see the blood flowing in the streets. So I don't really know whether you are living in planet Mars or another planet. Blood has been flowing, okay? So you're saying you don't want blood to flow. You're just a fool because blood has been flowing every day since this crisis started. People have been dying. So I don't know why you've not been aware of this. Now, when they're about to get your neck, you say, oh, please, I don't want blood to flow. So this hypocrite has really been dealt with. So we just have a club of dictators, AU, a club of dictators. They cannot take any serious action in favor of the people because they are not beholden to the people. They feel like the people did not put them in power. They bought their way in there. So they look at themselves like contractors. They are not beholden to the people because the people did not make them president. So they have to pay attention but to their slave masters, the colonial masters, which is sad. France feels they are really losing something. And from what we see, it looks like Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, is going to try to stage some kind of revolution to take these guys out. But it's going to create more bloodshed because we think a better approach is to negotiate with the coup juntas. Already the coup junta guys are really playing very good politics. They've already met with opposition figures. The opposition figures were really against President Keita, but they did not know that a coup was on the horizon. So once the coup became successful, now the junta has decided to meet with a lot of the opposition figures so that they can form a new government. Once they form a new government, there will be a movement back to democracy. So I don't even see why the French will want to come in. They want to come in because they want the country to remain theirs, to remain their property. But the people want freedom. The people want self-determination. They want to have a say in their own affairs. They don't want France to be dictating to them. They don't want France to tell them what to do because they are adults. They have to do things their own way. So that's the sad thing with France. France is a neo-colonialist government. It's a neo-colonialist country that doesn't want Africans to live in peace. They are many, many miles away. That's where their country is. But why do they continue staying in Africa? Because they are very parasitic. They want to get all the resources in Africa. In fact, even Chirac, the president Jacques Chirac, he said it. Without Africa, France would deteriorate and become a third-rate nation. But France has just been pumping a lot of stuff in the air just because they are stealing from Africa. But if Africans can unite and try to prevent this big country not to be taking things from them, France is really small in terms of space. But they've had military might. They use this military might to take over Africa and make the people slaves. So I think Assimi Goïta, the new junta leader, has said that he wants the Malian people to really live in peace and freedom. And he already is organizing stuff. In fact, if you look at some of the videos, you'll even see some of the speeches that he makes in French, where he rails against the French government. Come, if you guys want to attack us, we're ready. He's telling the people to protect their borders. Then he's even making appeal to the Malian international community. He's making appeals to Malians in the diaspora. So he wants them to take action and try to help his people. So there's a whole lot that is happening. So even Buhari, who is supporting this, is the same thing that's happening in Nigeria. He's becoming more and more dictatorial. So Nigeria is not really excluded from this. Nigeria too is another area where a coup can come anytime because there's so much insecurity and the people are not happy. So do not be surprised if Buhari is deposed in another coup, the way it happened before. So it may happen again. It happened in the area, so I think it may happen again. And we're just predicting. So coup d'etat may come again. Then Somalia, we don't like what is happening in Somalia. There's the legalizing of child marriage. So that should stop. That should not go on. They should stop it. Sudan, of course, Sudan, the new leaders in Sudan want to cooperate with the ICC so that they can bring those soldiers to justice. And finally, we'll take it to Uganda. Uganda is where Bobby Wine has finally gotten the thumbs up for his party. They want to challenge Yoweri Museveni. So we've seen Africa, like a lot of the places we're telling you, they're really ripe for coup. Coups are really going to happen. So why are these coups happening? So next week, we're going to give you a template. We'll explain why most of these coups are happening. For today, we've really come to the end of the show. We don't want to make it too long. We'll give you political reasons, social reasons, and economic reasons why coups are returning to Africa. Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters. We thank you for watching this show. But we want to tell you, continue sharing this show with your friends. If you do, we're going to be very, very happy with you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Hey, yo, Shape, I thought you was going to take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy's shape. When I say his services are the best in the states, word is born. He even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing. No waiting, this man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Express Driving School is the place for excitement of fast-track driver education, drug and alcohol testing, driver counseling, bilingual translation. For all your MVA needs, contact us. John F. Abbey, 6480 New Hampshire Avenue Suite 207B, Tacoma Park, Maryland 20912. Office phone 301-270-0018. Cell phone 240-644-3977. And you can reach us at our website, expressdrivingeducation.com. Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Unique Auto Repair. This is a brother from Ghana. His name is Emmanuel Ofori. He has a good business and he repairs cars. He repairs all type of cars. Mercedes, Toyota, Honda, you name it. The brother does it. He repairs everything. So even if you buy a car from the auction and you need to get it fixed, go to Emmanuel Ofori, Unique Auto Repair. He will repair this for you. It's very, very good. He has repaired my cars for me many times, and I love the service. And if you mention my name, Prince Ojong, he will give you even something also.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.